Good morning out there in Twitch TV land, and welcome to a very special community catch-up. My name is Andy Belford, aka Zwill, and joining me today is Laura, Miss Moneypenny May Brown. I don't know, May Moneypenny.
You messed it up now.
I've messed Miss Laura May Brown, also known as the indefatigable, as Dave likes to say, indefatigable. You're unable to be fatigued.
Okay.
Miss Moneypenny,
Yes.
welcome.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to the stream. We're glad to have you back here. Hello, everybody out there in chat. I know you guys are all sitting on the edge of your seat because there is so much stuff that you think we're going to talk about, and I'm guessing you're all like guessing what are they possibly going to be talking about? What could Moneypenny actually be here to discuss?
I'm here to talk about art.
Art? You make a joke about it, but it's kind of true.
Kind of true.
Kind of true. So just in case you didn't know, we work at Waystone Games. This is the Waystone Games stream. We are the creators of Dawngate. It is a brand new MOBA, which is in closed beta right now. You can actually get into the beta right now. Go to www.dawngate.com. Fill out the registration, hit register for the beta, and then when it says, do you have a key? You do have a key. All you got to do is enter Twitch DG4. It's right here. Boop. Right there. And that should get you into the beta right away. Our servers are live 24/7, so you can play Dawngate anytime you'd like. So we'd love to have you come and join us today. But before you do join the beta, go play the beta. Stick around because you're going to want to see some of the upcoming content that we're going to be talking about today. So last time we had you on, Laura May, it was a while ago, right?
Yeah.
We had you on to talk about some of our monetization plans and things that we were going to be rolling out to the players. And since then we have rolled out kind of what we call our earn currency,
Yes.
right? The destiny that you earn for playing games.
Mm-hmm.
Now from the blessing system. How do you feel like that destiny and all of our testing is going that we've gotten from that earn currency?
Yeah, I think the players have been super patient with us. You know, we've been testing and changing things a lot, so thank you for bearing with us. I'm sure players have seen, like, we've fiddled around with the drop rates of blessings. We have slightly changed prices. We've altered how much of the destiny you can earn, and all of this has been because we're trying to find that balance of the economy and what feels good and what's appropriate. And that stuff's been going really well. Like everything, including the shaper rotation, we've tried to understand, what is the behavior once shapers come off the rotation, and try to understand which ones are popular and which ones are not. Mm-hmm. And this has been really good for us, and we're finally, I think, in a really good place where we have some good data and we're ready to expand the economy.
Excellent. Now, so speaking of expanding the economy, that's actually part of what we're here to talk about today.
Yep.
This is very exciting, actually.
It is very exciting. So I'm like giddy. I'm so excited.
It is. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that finance people get excited about. Actually, is talking about kind of like testing these systems and learning how players will interact with them. And we have another system that we are going to be introducing to the game with the next patch.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, it
is.
It's
very exciting. So we are going to be introducing another form of currency, and I'll let you go ahead and take the wheel and talk about that. So
it's called the Miss Moneypenny currency.
Excellent.
No, it's not really. I wish it was.
MMP
points.
Miss Moneypenny points.
Yes.
It wouldn't be MMP ever. I'm just going to stop there.
I mean, I haven't actually had this confirmed with anyone on the team yet, but shh.
I think there's a good lore explanation we can put in there. Right? I mean, don't you guys think, Miss Moneypenny points? Anyways, all right, we're going to stop now. Okay.
No, for reals, we are bringing our second currency. It will be our paid currency known as Waypoints.
Okay.
And so to kick off this phase, we're actually going to be giving out free Waypoints for one and all. Free Waypoints!
All right. Somebody is going to GIF that, by the way. I just want you to know.
Yeah.
Excuse me, GIF that.
Yes, I know. And then we'll never hear the end of it.
I know.
Jazz hands.
Jazz hands, a little Fosse. That's great. Awesome.
So it's really, really exciting. So we want to test the system and how it works before we actually open up to players being able to purchase their own waypoints. And so we're actually going to have a randomized distribution of waypoints to our players.
Okay.
So that means that maybe you won't get the same as your friends or other players.
Right.
We're trying to keep it in a reasonable band, so you're not at a disadvantage or anything, and we're making sure that you can buy multiple items as well, and you can really engage in the system. And over the coming weeks, before we do actually turn on the system for you to top up on your own, we'll be giving out an additional allowance, which is constant for all players. There will be no discrepancy, and your wallet balance will keep on going up as we release exciting new content as well.
Okay. All right, so this is exciting. Let's just go ahead and I'm going to review this really quickly for the
Sure.
stream. All right, guys. So we're going to be introducing waypoints, which will eventually turn into our paid currency. So
Yes.
basically, kind of like you go into the store, you will buy these points with real money. But because we're just introducing this system and we want to actually get some testing in, we're going to be giving you free mad money. Mad money. It's just mad money.
Monopoly money.
Monopoly money?
Yes.
Monopoly money. Okay,
Yes.
so we're going to give you guys some free Monopoly money. You're going to get a chance to do it. Now, to roll it out with, we want to be very clear. Not everyone's going to get the same amount. And there's reasoning behind that, actually. So, like, could we talk a little bit about some of the reasoning behind it? I know Jiva loves to talk about this whole kind of like economic theory and
Yes.
and stuff like that. But could we talk a little bit about why we would do that?
Sure. So obviously in the real world, people will buy different amounts of Waypoint packages, when we do launch that. And for us, it was very important to have a random distribution to basically see what spending patterns would be like at different levels of experience versus different wallet balances.
Okay.
And we're really looking for, how do players make choices between Destiny versus Waypoints? How do they make choices within Waypoints? Do I buy X content or Y content?
Okay.
And we just wanted that to be as random as possible so that we didn't, bias any of the testing.
Right, and you're getting a good sample size. So,
Yes.
I mean, it's a really good sample size. We have a decent sized population at this point, and that'll help. I would say so.
Absolutely.
But it is important to know that even if you get the base amount, which is
Yes.
still actually a considerable amount, you're going to be able to buy a nice like skin and other bits of content probably. Excuse me.
You're revealing stuff.
I still, well, we're going to talk about it in a minute anyways. It's okay, Obviously, we're releasing this for an information,
Yes.
but you could buy like a shaper and something else, stuff like
Yes.
that, So even though that you're going to get like that random amount at the beginning, every single week, folks are going to be getting a set amount. Like it's a
Yes.
stipend.
Yes,
right?
like a stipend, a weekly
Okay.
allowance to keep topping up your wallet balance so that you can keep engaging in the system and keep buying more stuff.
Exactly. So if you see something in there you want, save up for it.
Yeah.
Because you will have the opportunity to get that. So that is going to be weekly, and we're going to be doing this testing for a little while, guys, until we basically feel comfortable enough
Right.
to move on to the next step. So just so that everyone's sorry, I thought I saw Dave walk by back there. I was just like, wait a minute, Dave's at home sick today. So this is exciting.
Yeah, it's really
It's
exciting.
very fun stuff.
As a quick reminder, the Waypoints being our paid currency will mean that they are focused on the purchasing of cosmetic items, convenience items, things like that. Shapers will have a dual price, but loadouts remain solely as Destiny.
Yes, and that will be the case in perpetuity.
Yes.
I mean, okay, that
Yes.
you should never be able to buy
No.
power, right? And that is
Correct.
earned through gameplay and through the blessing system. So, we have this is ongoing testing for the economy of our game, right?
Right.
And obviously, we're trying to figure out, not necessarily figure out, but we're trying to get ideas about how our players are engaging with the economy of the game,
Yeah,
right?
and what matters to them, what doesn't matter to them, and ultimately we're trying to find the balance between Destiny and Waypoints as well, so it feels good.
Yeah.
Obviously we want people to grind, but if people don't want to grind as hard, they have another avenue.
Well, not grind. Engage with our gameplay.
Engage with our gameplay.
Yes.
Spend
I
time
mean,
playing our game.
It is. Spend time playing our game. Because, I'll be very frank with you. Like, for me, like, the Destiny system hasn't felt bad at all. It actually feels very rewarding.
Yeah.
Especially with the blessings added in. I mean,
Absolutely. And that's the thing. We want to give you a little bit of taste of try before you buy, give you access to content, for free, and hopefully, you get to interact with it instead of, I know giving up Destiny or even Waypoints, either currency, is a big deal.
Yeah.
You worked hard for that or you paid for that, and it's, I want you to not have any buyer remorse, and I want you to be happy with what you buy. So hopefully, through the besting system, you get to enjoy some of this content.
Excellent.
And see if you like it.
So there is a question that probably is going to be on a lot of people's minds. Are we doing a reset this go around?
Absolutely. Your face. No. Good news. This time round, we are not doing a reset at all. So, well, okay, there's one person that's getting a reset, Jiva.
Jiva, shh, don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Don't tell Jiva.
Don't tell Jiva. No one tell Jiva.
He's actually in chat, but that's okay.
Yeah, god damn it. But no, this time round we're going to keep everything constant. I know players have been working really hard to build up their loadouts, and doing a lot to unlock shapers and things like that. And,
Yes.
we want to, celebrate. And to be honest, I won't lie, a reset will come, some point further down the horizon. So we decided not to do one this time around and just keep things going.
Yeah, I think it's, it is safe to say, we just brought a lot of people into the game. Folks are earning things, and, we want to give you guys a chance to enjoy that. But, it is very important that we are honest with you guys. Like Laura May said, there will be another reset down the road. It's going to happen. But, just remember, though, like, we give a limited advance warning of that, because part of the testing is that we want you guys to spend the waypoints, and we don't want you to change your spending patterns and things like that too. And Jiva covered this actually, and Miss Moneypenny covered this in a forum post not too long ago. Please, spend your waypoints. Don't hoard them or spend weirdly or anything like that. But just help us test this system.
Yep.
Help us make the Destiny and the waypoint system everything that it can be, so that when we actually do things like turn on the store, actually start accepting real money and things like that, that it's as smooth of a transition as possible, and that everybody gets a great experience out of it.
And it just helps us accelerate our testing. The more realistic the data is, the faster we can get to a point where it's, we can open it up more to the players and release more content, turn on the store, like you say, things like that. And I know a lot of people asked, you reset, I worked really hard to earn that Destiny or whatever it was. And I just wanted to say, all our beta players, very, very important to us. I don't want to divulge too much now, but we will reward all our beta players for having been with us on this journey. So even though there'll be resets along the way, we don't plan to just leave you high and dry, when we come out of beta.
We will have a way of saying thank you for sure, and I've already started poking about certain things that I would love for folks to have, but that's about all I'm going to say about that. So, and we do want to make, another thing to talk about with the resets. We want to make them less frequent, though.
Yes.
We want to make them less frequent and not as drastic.
Not as drastic.
Yeah.
And because we've done, I won't even lie, we've done a few drastic ones, like we change prices quite a lot, and we've been messing around with drop rates and things like that. And I feel more confident now because of that data that's come through. And as our player base expands, as we start to move closer to open beta, now that we're 24/7, to your point, yes, I don't plan to make very drastic reset changes.
Right.
We probably have maybe one more drastic one coming up.
Okay.
Or maybe two. But then after that, they're going to get a lot less frequent and a lot less drastic.
Okay. Excellent. Very good to know. I'm sorry, I'm looking down at the notes. It's okay.
We have notes. We're prepared.
We do. We were extra prepared for this. So what's this one about the running of free? What was that?
Yeah, I know players, we want to transition you slowly into the purchasing of waypoints, which is why we're giving some away for free. But after a few patches or so, we will turn on the store for real, and I hope that the players will support us by buying some of the content that they find meaningful. And at the end of the day, we've done a lot to develop this game to get it in a really good place, and running a live service, and we want to keep growing our team, and we want to keep making great, fantastic content. And I'm hoping that any contributions that the players make to helping us through purchasing waypoints will keep the lights on, get a few more people in to make more awesome stuff, and we just keep building up the game.
Not just to make more awesome. Let's get another community person in here.
Yes.
Let's get the game out there far and wide, and give everybody a chance to enjoy the game as much as we've had a chance to. And obviously, our goals are to be successful and to grow the team, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we're continuing to offer everybody out there very high quality content. Like it needs to be high quality content, I think.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about some of this content that we're going to be offering and that we're rolling out with the introduction of this new system. Today we're going to talk about two different things. We've already discussed the fact that you're going to be able to purchase shapers with waypoints.
Yes.
That was in the previous one. But we also mentioned the fact that you would also be able to purchase cosmetic items, such as skins and something else.
Yes. Well, we're actually going to have a phased rollout plan of lots of exciting content, and what we're starting with, to Andy's point, are skins for your shapers. Very exciting, and we'll show some of that art thing, I think, later as well.
Yep.
And also ward skins.
Well, actually, I have something to show you right here, and we're going to be showing you just a really quick peek of something we're going to be showing you guys later. We're going to show you more later on in the stream today. It's the reason we started early, because we have a ton
of stuff,
like a metric ton of content to get through today. But hey, this is kind of the first peek. Now, you may notice a skin that you guys saw several months ago, the concept art for, right?
So originally that Freya skin, we called it Courier Freya. That was our internal working name.
Right.
Her official name is First Dispatch.
Final
Dispatch. Goodness. Final Dispatch Freya.
Okay.
And as a quick memory jog, and I'm sure Hunter will go deeper into this, Freya used to be a courier back in the day for her village, and then, unfortunately, Fenmore decided to destroy her village.
Right, well,
and turn her into what she is today. So this was her final outfit when she came back to see her village.
She's a little angry right now.
She's a little upset.
A little mad. That's okay, though.
A little crazy.
So this is Final Dispatch Freya, and then this is there's another skin on here, which I know you are very excited about.
I was very excited. So originally, the art team was going to show everything, and I was like, I'm just going to sneak one in.
Okay.
And steal their thunder a little bit. So as you can see, there's going to be 8 skins that we're going to release with. So I was really excited about this Dibs skin. This is Forest Dreams Dibs.
Okay.
He's super, super cute. We really kind of made him look very similar to we took inspiration from a red panda kind of look. And you can't see it in this picture, and I know the art guys will talk more about it, but he's got a cute little gold bug backpack as well.
Well, we'll actually be showing some of these skins in game. So
yes.
It's very exciting that we're going to be able to do that here. So thank you so much for answering all the or for talking about all this stuff. We're actually going to give the audience a chance to do a little bit of Q&A right now, and then we're going to bring in Mr. Hunter Howe, our creative director, and a very special guest to go over some of the skins and kind of the work in progress.
Reveal some of these black
reveal some of these silhouettes as well. So
and the ward skins.
And well, we didn't even mention that yet. Ward skins, yes.
Yeah, ward skins. They're really, really cool. We have a bunch of them that we're going to release, and we're going to stagger the release in between patches. So there's 2 that's going to be coming out in our next patch, which Hunter's going to talk a little bit more about, and it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I don't want to steal his thunder too much, but we are going to start a little bit by linking to the lore.
Yep.
And releasing ward skins relative to the different regions.
Very exciting.
In our world.
I'm actually really excited about the idea of ward skins for our game, because wards are so, everybody uses them in Dawngate, and so it's something it has a completely different implication than it would in any other MOBA. So for me, ward skins are exciting. So if you have questions, guys, go ahead and type a Q with a colon mark in front of it, or behind it, I should say, and then your question afterwards, we will be able to pick it out easily, and then we can read it. We're going to take a couple of questions for Miss Laura Mae Brown, Miss Moneypenny here, and then we're going to bring in Hunter Howe and another special guest that you guys haven't had a chance to meet yet. But he's a special guest with a fabulous feature. I just got to say that.
So while the questions are coming through, we will be looking to release a variety of content that is directly tied into our lore, and then some that's maybe tied into real-world themes as well. Some of the ward skins, for example, will be Shaper-specific. Some of them will be tied to lore, like what we started with, and some will just be very cool concepts and stuff. So there'll be a variety, and you can mix and match. And we're going to bring out more content as well that will keep complementing this kind of extra peripheral stuff that you can do to customize your shaper.
Excellent. All right, guys, so let's go back up through the questions here. Vestboy had a great question. If beta testers want to spend real money during beta, will there be items that we can buy with real money which persists through resets, kind of as a reward for supporting Waystone with real money?
So at the moment, you won't be able to buy real waypoints, but after this testing phase, you will be. I will not take away any of the waypoints that you spend. We may do a reset that will reset your purchases, but you will always keep the balance that you actually put into the system.
Right.
So that is persistence. You don't lose any real money, but we may reset your purchases, and you may want to repurchase different things as more content comes out. And so that could definitely happen in the future. The goal is to never take money out of your pocket, basically. Absolutely not. So, you will never lose anything, but you just might have to repurchase some stuff. Okay. So Candy Machine X is the stuff we buy going to get removed in the next content wipe. So Candy Machine, with the funny money or the kind of the gifted, I should say, waypoints, I would expect that stuff to be removed along with the waypoints, at some point in the future. A wipe will happen with that, but for now, you're going to get that
arbitrary amount at the beginning, and then you're going to get the consistent gifted amounts every single week. So please spend them and help us test how people are reacting to different offerings, please. Very important to us. It's kind of a general question from TK41. What sort of plans do you have for more items?
Well, we're trying to release them on a regular basis. So as we get understanding of what players like and what they like to interact with, we have, some stuff in our backlog that's due to come out in the next couple of months, and we just keep expanding that inventory. So there is exciting stuff. I can't tell you yet, but very exciting stuff coming out very soon. And yeah, we just keep adapting. So if players are like, this is awesome, then we double down on it. And they're like, this is not so awesome, then we make it awesome, or we find something else to make.
Okay. Why no Fenmore skin? Where's Fenmore skin? Middle ground bear. All I can say is just you wait, because I've seen the Fenmore skins. That it's well, there's more than one that I've seen in development.
Yes.
Both of them are pretty awesome looking, though.
Pretty epic, yes.
So, yeah. And that's all the tease I'm going to give about that.
Yeah, somebody had to come first, and it wasn't Fenmore.
Yes, it wasn't Fenmore. Fenmore's not in the first lineup. But that is actually a good point to make, is that just because this is the first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 skins that we're going to be revealing today, the skin cycle is going to become part of our regular content releases.
Absolutely.
So, you see shapers all the time. You're going to start to see skins regularly, right?
Absolutely. And, our goal is to try and get a skin for every shaper. There will be occasional times where a shaper might have two. Maybe they're very popular. Maybe we do a promo skin, or we gift out a skin or something like that. But so we may break that rule a little bit. But our goal is for every shaper to have an initial skin, and then we'll start building up multiple skins for each shaper.
Okay.
The skins will be tiered. So the skins will come out at different price points, as will the ward skins.
Right.
And this is really very similarly correlated to how much time, effort, and resources went into building these skins, and for us to make sure that we can offer content at different price points and make it accessible to as many players as possible.
Okay. Is there Dawngate merch that we can buy already? If so, where? Not yet. Not yet. That is... Trust me, we see the demand or the request for that quite frequently. So, and then somebody just asked, DemiDeath95 asked, are these skin recolors or do they change animations? I think that there's going to be a variety, and Hunter will talk about this too as well.
Yes.
But, there is a variety of offerings that we're going to have that are going to have all sorts of different levels of customization. So, but the important thing to remember with these skins, with any sort of like customization offering that we're going to have, is that they're always going to be held to a high level of quality.
Absolutely. And we will do our best to provide a variety as well.
Absolutely. So, all right. Well, I'll tell you what. I am going to go ahead and we're going to transition and bring Hunter in. And thank you so much for coming on and answering all these questions. This is really exciting.
Yeah, I'm going to put a forum post up explaining and summarizing a lot of this. So if you guys have more questions, definitely hit me up on the forums, and I'll make Jiva answer some questions too, even though he'll be sad that his account was reset.
It happens. That's okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for swinging by. And stick around, guys. We're going to run the sizzle video a couple of times, and then we'll be back with Hunter Zalgasal. Alrighty, everybody, and welcome back. Through the magic of television and people moving around in seats, I'm joined now by Hunter Zalgas Howe. Hello.
It's true. Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Wonderful, wonderful. Are you... do I have sound? I don't know if you're muted. You're muted.
No.
You were muted. Hold on. There you go. It's that one. Nope. Down. Aha! Okay, wait a minute. Did it? Hold on. One more thing. Let me check really quick.
It's good.
No. There we go. Now you're good.
Victory.
Yay!
I can handle simple machines.
Technology. Turn the mic. See, there we go. The chat is letting us know. Hunter, thank you very much for joining us on this very special day. It's actually really exciting.
It's a very special day.
It is a
I
very
think
special
all
day.
the community catch-ups are special,
Well,
but this one's extra special. And maybe
Well,
the next one will be extra special, too.
like you said, they're all extra. Is that right? That doesn't seem to be working right. Hold on. It just keeps getting further over. Am I doing it wrong? Okay, that looks better. Now it's more centered.
Yeah,
it was like way
that's good.
over.
I like this beam of light going down my...
That's actually my secret reason for wanting to sit over here, so I didn't have the sun
Thank you.
directly in my eyes. So this is really exciting. We just talked about the introduction of the Waypoint system and a few skins.
One thing to add is that Miss Moneypenny asked me to share this with you guys as we were switching seats. Anybody who joins the beta after the initial grant, giving people the random amount of waypoints to seed your accounts, will get, after 24 hours, because we run a script every night, you will get your allowance then. So if you see a new player, or one of you is a new player and comes into the beta sometime in the future, you'll try to let people know that don't worry, you'll get your points. It just might take a day to get in your account.
12 to 24 hours-ish. Basically, we do it at a certain time every night. We'll run it, and people get it. So usually they'll create an account, and then they'll see the waypoints the next day.
Right.
Is usually how it'll work.
Yes.
Depending upon where you are in the world.
It's all very confusing. There's a big button on Lorenzo's desk, and he just presses it.
He just pushes it over and over again, and laughs maniacally. Cackles, actually, I believe is the term. All right. Chortles? No. All right, so let's talk a little bit about some of the stuff that we're going to be showing a lot more of here in just a few moments.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be introducing a new friend to the community.
A special friend, yes.
A special friend with a fabulous feature. I'm just going to say he's very.
You'll see.
It's very fabulous. All right. So, anyways, I'm hyping it up so much. I feel so bad about that.
Yeah. No. Let's keep it cool.
All right, we're keeping it cool. All right. So let's talk a little bit about Dawngate and skins. And what, skins are something I think that people are fairly, accustomed to when it comes to MOBA type games, right?
No, I mean, people have had the opportunity to customize characters with texture packs or mods for forever.
Ever since like Wolfenstein, you used to have like the Mario Brothers texture packs and stuff like that.
Right. So certainly nothing new, and certainly not a new, I think, emotional need that people have to express themselves through their characters.
Absolutely.
So it seems like a no-brainer that we would give that offering to our players.
Absolutely. I mean, we do have some specific goals though when it comes to like what we actually as a team want to accomplish with skins. So could you speak a little bit to that?
Yeah. So you guys know that we have big lore plans at Waystone around our game, and something that we really want to do to sort of kick off our skins process, in a lot of cases, not in 100% of the cases, is to tell more of each character's story through their skin. So when you, we certainly want to have comical skins at some point and things that are a little bit more like whimsical, and the demand for Fridge Desecrator is at a all-time high, and that's certainly something that we'd love to do. Some of the first steps that we're taking, though, are fleshing out our characters, because we love our characters, we care about our characters, and all of them have these wonderful backstories that you can read about in the fictions that are written and you hear in the VO. But we also wanted to express that visually. So I think you'll see on some of these concepts that we're about to show you that we wanted to express tidbits about the characters through that, and that I think is to me really exciting as an avenue for people who wouldn't necessarily be like digging into the stories immediately. We'll be able to see these skins and go like, why has he got this? And then people will be able to sort of share that information.
Right.
It's almost a like entry point into the lore of the characters.
Yeah. I mean, it is. I mean, having seen some of the lore based skins. I mean, they're very cool looking. They definitely stand out, I would say. And yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's a good reason to ask, well, why is this person wearing this?
Yeah.
And I think that's a really clever way of doing that. So, before we jump into the concepts, though, do you think now's a good time to introduce our friend?
Our special friend?
Our
Yes.
special friend? Okay. There's no elegant way to do this, guys, so I'm just going to Skype call him in here.
Bring him. Summon him.
All right, let's see here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's showing us away.
No, he wouldn't do that to us.
I'm sure he's... Oh, there he is.
He's coming in.
He's coming in. We're waiting for the video.
Hello.
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 Sorry,
You gotta add the video, sir. I gotta turn the music up.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Video is on.
It's coming.
Okay. All right, there we go.
Pixels.
Pixels.
There they are.
All right, hold on.
Hello. Hi, guys.
Okay,
Hi.
hold on just a moment here, and I'm going to switch over to this window right here.
There he is.
There he is! And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce to you the very talented concept artist, Nick Cole.
Nick Cole, hello. How are you?
Hi, guys. I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Nick this is a great opportunity to introduce Nick to the team because Nick has done a lot of these concepts for the early lore skins.
Yes.
Nick is a man who's passionate about lore and our lore, and also is working with us on some of our big future lore plans that I cannot go into right now. But yes, spoilers. But Nick, you want to introduce yourself to the stream? Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Totally. I'm a concept artist. I was working for a couple of other video game companies. I like to animation and books, but found my way to Waystone. I've been doing work primarily on the skin designs. I just got really excited about the lore of the world, the sort of texture of it, and the characters, and hope to sort of bring a lot of that flavor to what the final product is. But
Okay.
Nick, the chat is alight with saying that you have as good of a mustache as Renzo. Is Renzo one of your favorite shapers?
Oh man, I haven't gotten a chance to skin Renzo, but when I saw him immediately, I felt a kinship.
Oh, good. A special bond.
It's
Yeah.
got it definitely has a swoop. So, not to take any of the spotlight away from your mustache because it is actually quite glorious. But you are a concept artist. Could you tell us a little bit about your art style? Like, how would you describe it to our viewers at home?
I think that a thing that's important to me is sort of the sense of playfulness and of whimsy, but also sort of an emphasis on visual storytelling. So every time I sit down to design, I really like to think of who is this character? Like, how do they think? Where do they fit in the world? How would they dress themselves? And what does every moment, like I'm designing a belt for each character or a set of mutton chops or a hat, like how can that specifically help to tell the story of that particular person, that particular character in the world that they fit in? So I hope that that's evident in my design work, that you see that I really care about sort of those sort of details and how they fit together.
Okay.
But hopefully in a playful way.
That's awesome. I'm sorry, Free Phoenix. He says, Andy, you must dash him more questions.
Skip the pun.
Give me a second. Actually, I'm actually going to move the chat over just a little bit, which is going to interrupt that screen a slight bit, but there we go. All right, much better. Now we can see it all. All right, so I'm sorry. Go ahead, Hunter.
No, I guess one of the things that I think that is something that we want to do is really make it clear that there are some unique and distinct cultures in the world of Dawngate. There's the North, and it's cold there, and people are sad and locked up in their castles, and they read lots of books. Like how do you sort of take those like cultural notes and work them into your designs? Is there a process there, or is it just sort of come to you as you go?
I think that the first opportunity is to like start to pull reference and try and get a real world handle on like maybe some things that we know or recognize that would call out those cues. So cultures, to pull in from the North, depending on the character and their context, try and learn as much as I can, and then go and pull things from maybe, Mongolia or sort of traditional Mongolian costuming, trying to spitball off the top of my head, sort of other northern cultures that we see, because I think with fantasy, like love to bring in those sort of wild elements and those whimsical moments, but I think that they always have to be grounded in something that we recognize and can like, emotionally attach to. So sometimes that's cultural influence, sometimes that's just something you can recognize or understand immediately. So that's sort of the first thing I start to do. Any design begins with research.
It's funny how subtle some of those like cues can be, and how big of a reaction that they give you. They're like, "Oh, it's that kind of guy," and you're like, "Actually, you picked that up from a couple of little pieces that sort of got sprinkled there." But something that I really appreciate, I think, about the world of Dawngate is that we're trying to put twists on things. Like you'll never see anything, and it'll just be, "Oh, that's clearly a Russian aristocrat's ball gown. It's changed in some way." Like where do you get the inspiration for? Okay, I want to somewhat base it around a Russian aristocrat ball gown, but I need to put a twist on it. Where's the twist come from? I don't know if there's an easy answer for that too.
You're just kind of exploring, trying to bring yourself to it too, and try and bring.
Oh,
Something happened.
Oh, it's just it's a little staticky. That's all. Thought we lost you for a second.
Yeah, I think just also from observation, but just there's an element of imagination that comes into it where you just try and think of things that would make me sort of stop and wonder and kind of get excited about something. I never want to copy anything that I'm referencing, especially because the world is so fantastical and magical and rich that way. But it's hard to really trace where that comes from, where the whimsical element does come from.
The whimsy, it's just part of you.
Okay.
I hide it in the mustache, really.
So we have seen some of Nick's concept before, and I'm actually going to go ahead and jump over to that really quickly here. And that was before we saw Nick's concept with the Courier Freya work,
AKA Final Dispatch Freya.
Now known as Final Dispatch Freya. Absolutely. Hunter, when you guys were first, exploring this concept, what were some of the things that you wanted to communicate to Nick so that he could actually put that to the medium of the concept art?
Oh, I'd say that the journey sort of for Freya was, we started off, obviously, maybe not obviously, pretty obviously, with Little Red Riding Hood, and we were like, girl in red cape and cloak. Started off there. And then we, came with this story about someone who lost her village, and the question was like, what was she beforehand? And the ideas of Little Red Riding Hood and deliveries sort of led to, what if this person was a courier for her town, and was this person who was relatively tough, could handle out in the wilderness. She comes from a small town sort of in the middle of nowhere, so they obviously need somebody to go back and forth and to, run messages to larger cities, and do stuff like that. So that was the question, for Nick, was like, what would our Freya look like if she was relatively tough, sort of ranger-ish, and was a courier?
Right.
So that's it.
I do have to apologize to Nick really quickly. This was one that we added. We added back into the conversation at the last minute. So he has the other ones, but not this one in front of him. So, Nick, based on what Hunter was saying, like, what were some of the directions you went as far as like exploring the Final Dispatch Freya concept?
It's actually funny because that concept came together really quickly. It was I work remotely, so I'm out on the East Coast actually. And I was in the studio in California visiting, and I sat down, and they handed me a Cintiq, and they were like, Courier Freya, go. And so I was actually like shooting from the hip a lot with that. One of the things that came into that was, because sort of the base skin for her is very sort of Red Riding Hood based. She comes from sort of a forested region, the courier thing. I wanted her to feel like a ranger, and kind of pull in some of those elements of someone maybe who wanders in the wild, wants to be a little more camouflaged as she goes, not drawing as much attention to herself with that sort of red pop. So that transformation is more of a powerful one for the character. And so I pulled some reference from old drawings of Robin Hood, MC Wyeth does some stuff with that that's pretty fun, and try and pull in that classic element, but kind of give it a little bit of a twist and make it still Freya. And then I gave her a haircut that I just thought was really cool.
It's an awesome haircut too. That undercut,
the little kind of like the undercut. Yeah, I do like it. It's very, it's just edgy. Edgy, I think is a good word for it.
Slick, stylish.
Slick. There we go. Okay, good.
She's like a pale Rihanna in the forest.
Okay, cool. Pale Rihanna in the forest. All right, that reference is going to stick with me, I think. All right, so are we ready to talk about some other stuff?
Yeah, let's move along.
All right, let's go ahead. So that's Courier Freya. You guys saw kind of the render that we had earlier. Here's another one that I'm particularly excited about because I play this guy a lot.
There you go. Look at that.
Look at this guy. So what do we got here, Hunter?
All right, going to give you a little bit of background here. Petrus, the Artificer, really talented shaper, lost his arm, had a couple of things, that he needed to do. One of the things he wanted to do once he got the spirit of progress infused with him was doing a little bit of research. This is experimental Petrus. What he did in his experimentation on Vex, one of them was, this creature has a bunch of crazy regenerative properties. So he used some of that to shape himself this new arm. And you see elements of Vex's design in there. You see the bones and the blue and stuff. But this is sort of the first iteration of Petrus's arm, I should say.
Okay. So I mean, Nick, when you got this idea and this description, I mean, the arm is obviously like a really big focal point for Petrus. Like, where did you see this going?
Well, you're right. So the arm is Petrus's sort of signature thing, and it's also sort of what is the biggest part of his story, too, that he loses his arm and he's trying to figure that out. He's like a really tragic and kind of bitter character, and it just seemed like a sort of Dr. Frankenstein, Jekyll and Hyde, the lizard from Spider-Man kind of direction felt really compatible with him. And so the first thing I wanted to do when I was redesigning a Petrus skin was focus on what are cool things we can do to the arm. Like, I went through a bunch of different iterations, mechanical arm stuff, and struck on this. And because I knew that Vex was part of the lore and that Vex was a creation of Petrus's, I thought it was a really cool way to tie two shapers in and sort of link that lore together under the surface a little bit more.
Okay. All right. So I'm actually going to jump out of order what I have here on the screen. And since we're talking so much about Vex already, we ready to show? We want to show a Vex skin?
All right, we'll go there.
We'll go there. I mean, it makes sense, right?
So part of this experimenting on Vex was also, hey, Petrus works for the Duke. The Duke's very interested in power and money. Mm-hmm. He thought to himself, how can I get the Duke on board for some of this research? How can I get more funding? Mm-hmm. So here you go. That guy.
He looks very sharp.
Yes, he does. This is weaponized Vex, and as you can see, he's pretty weaponized.
Yeah. So I mean, Vex is obviously the experimental creature that for the lore background, that is basically Petrus poked and prodded and. It was trying to create a weapon, and this is just like further exploration of the idea of Vex as a weapon.
Yeah, it's like, hey, a Duke, I could do this. Mm-hmm. Is this something that interests you? Is this something that might further your games?
Okay. I mean, Nick, I see a very strong blade theme here.
I wouldn't call it a theme.
He looks a little knifey, if I could give a description to him. What were your thoughts about this concept?
Actually, one of the things I wanted to do with Vex when I was originally starting this concept was to try and simplify him a little bit, because if you look at his original design, there's even more spikes and they're sort of thinner and narrower, and it's pretty cool. I thought it would be fun to play with sort of broader shapes, and so the knife thing came in as a way to sort of pull in that element, his sort of spikes from his original design, and reinterpret them in a more created kind of way. And really, I saw it as an opportunity to tell the story of sort of Duke Anzarani and the culture of the West, and bring in some influences from like Renaissance armor motifs and mix it with a bunch of other sort of stuff, and kind of throw it at Vex and see what happened.
Remember, folks, he slices, he dices. He will carry your team if you play him right. So, so speaking of Duke Anzarani, look at this. These transitions,
wow. The theme.
these segues. I'm just going to turn it this way and go into the next transition. So speaking of Duke Anzarani, there's other characters in the lore that have a very close personal connection to Duke Anzarani. One of them being Varian.
Yep, Varian. He works for the guy. He, you might know. Varian was a mercenary who worked for a company called the Silver Hounds. They all got killed.
Yes.
You can read about that sad backstory in one of them. I forgot its title.
I can't remember the title of it now. It's the first one. That's why. It was 8 months ago at this point.
But this is Varian, as he now works under the employ of Duke Anzarani.
Okay, so this is obviously kind of a more formal uniform than what Varian currently wears in game. I mean, Nick, we're seeing just a lot of kind of intricacies that you actually don't see maybe in Varian's base skin. Like, what were your inspirations as you were kind of creating this Anzarani version of Varian?
Well, I got really excited about the vibe of the sort of wealthy and opulent West in the game, which is where Petrus and Varian and Duke Anzarani are all from, and Vex too, for that matter. And I wanted to kind of gild him and make him a little more ornamental, sort of more of a ceremonial high guard. And I think it kind of is a fun thing to do with him because he's otherwise such a leather and boots kind of, 5 o'clock shadow kind of guy, and I thought it would be kind of fun to juxtapose that with his original character and see where we could push him.
Very nice, very nice. I actually really like this. I'm anticipating that when this patch does eventually hit, Pluto will be playing quite a bit of this skin.
Yeah.
In the on the stream for you guys, since Varian is one of his favorites. So
yeah, it's called House Anzarani Varian. Although all of these suggestions in chat are very good, including Fabulous Varian, Swag Varian. I've seen a couple Disney Prince Varian.
I do feel as though he's about to walk in and sweep Snow White off of her feet right here.
And he would.
Yes, he definitely would. He
Plus, the golden gun, just makes him look super fancy.
The golden gun, definitely. Yeah. Although anytime I say golden gun, all I can think of is golden eye.
That's true.
It's all I can think of. Anyway, so this is awesome. I actually can't wait to see how Pat and Kevin translated these wonderful skins into in these concepts into in-game.
Well, you don't have to wait, Andy. We can do that.
That's right. We're going to do that. So thank you, Nick, so much for coming on today. We really appreciate it. We're going to take a couple of questions from the crowd out there, and then we're going to take a little bit of a short break, and we're going to come back and show you guys some in-game stuff for the skins. But before then, let's go ahead and let's get some questions. Remember, you put a Q with a colon mark in front of it. You can ask questions about the concepting from Nick, as well as the how we're going to work skins into Dawngate and the importance of them. This would be a great time to ask those questions. So please fire your questions up there, and we're going to wait for the 20-second delay from Twitch while we do that. These are going to be coming up a little bit more. So Nick, are you excited to see these translated into the game now at this point?
I can't wait. Actually, I'm really excited. You threw up a shot of Courier Freya, and that was the first time I've seen her in 3D for the game. So I haven't actually seen a lot of these since I did the concept, so I'm pretty pumped.
Okay. Jax on the Fox. Can we see the Volek skin? You'll see it, I promise.
You'll see it in game.
You'll see it in game. We'll show you guys in a minute. Well, can we see the Cerulean skin art? I don't think we have our art actually to show for the Cerulean skin. Garwar, Nick, will you draw me like one of your Dawngate? I'm gonna guess it says concept. Hold on.
Imagine it says girls. Oh no, and girls. Yes.
Yes, Dawngate girls. Okay. Wow, Jed. Wow. Sorry, this is not working really well there. Let's see here. I'm just gonna do this. How's that? Let's see here. Nick, will you be making a Ferris skin? Who knows?
Ferris. Oh.
Ferris is the new ancient
AKA
golem.
the golem.
The golem, yes.
Oh yeah. There's a Ferris skin in the pipeline that I'm really pumped about.
I really like it. That's a special one.
Let's see. Ayamaru, will dibs be more than a fur color change in weapon at some point? Actually, the skin that we're introducing is more than that.
Who is that? Which character?
The dibs one.
Oh, dibs.
Yeah.
The dibs one. Dibs one is 95% texture work.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little bit of extra though. The gnome. Does your mustache have a skin? Wait. I guess the real question is, will we be seeing a Nick Cole Renzo skin in the game at some point?
That would be awesome. You could have that Nick hat, that vest. That would be the best.
That would be amazing. Let's see here. Chaos is asking, will you ever consider a single-piece skin, such as just a new Volek sword or a Zeri paintbrush?
That's interesting. We've looked sort of, up to this point for opportunities to tell a story, with the skin, and just changing one of the items doesn't necessarily give us all of the things in our tool belt. If that's something that people find interesting, like, oh, I'd like a low-cost skin that just changes one element of the base skin, that's totally something that we would consider, but we're sort of looking to tell a story with them, and that wouldn't really give us that opportunity.
Okay. Best Moya NA. I'm sorry, did you have something to add to that, Nick?
Well, I just think, any opportunity to give you more bang for your buck is a great one. So why design only something small when you can really rehaul the whole character and give you something really exciting?
Good point.
Yeah.
So we'll do one more question here. Best Moya NA, for all the skins like Vex, for example, will there be changes to the abilities? So basically the visual effects, like Vex shooting out a volley of swords instead of spikes.
So for some of these concepts, we don't necessarily know going in. Is this going to be one where we change the effects or not? But then when Nick comes back to us with, like, well, he's got swords, then we're sort of like, all right, this is going to be a little bit, it's not going to be quite as special if he shoots bone spikes out and he just looks like a sword guy. So we sort of do it on a case-by-case basis.
Okay, excellent. Well, Nick, again, thank you so much for joining us on the call today. Hopefully this is not the last that we'll see of you on the community catch-up.
No.
I think the community definitely enjoyed hearing from you, so...
Definitely. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right.
Take it easy, Nick.
So, guys, we'll be back in just a little bit here. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to show you some in-game stuff. Stay tuned. Cut it off just a little bit there. Welcome back, everybody. Just a really short, quick break there. So I am back with Hunter Zalgashal. And by the way, if you're just tuning in, you are watching the Dawngate stream, the Dawngate community catch-up, and we're talking about a whole bunch of new stuff today. Skins, waypoints, but wait, there's more.
There's more.
There's going to be more. There's going to be much more. So stick around, guys. And remember, all of this stuff that we're talking about is coming to you guys in the next patch. So no date on that yet, but it's in the next patch. So the next thing that we wanted to actually show you is a little bit about how you actually get the skins.
How do I get this exciting new content, Andy? Show me more.
How do I access it? Well, you know what, Hunter? I'm glad you asked that question.
Cue it up, Andy.
Cue it up. Let's transition over to this really quickly. All right, guys. So
what's that 3D shaper doing in there?
What is this? This is something new. This is exciting.
Yeah, that's exciting. So we've got our characters in full 3D right now in everywhere that they're represented in the client. They are represented in 3D, which is cool.
This is actually really exciting. I'm very glad to see it. It's just another small touch that we're doing that I think is kind of upping that quality level.
Yeah. So he's sitting in that world. He's got some nice Dawngate statues back there and little torches. Something that I'd actually love to do at some point in the future here. We've only got one environment here, but we want to sort of celebrate who these characters are in this little scene. So we have grand ambitions of having, oh, he's from the West. There's the West set for the people who are there. Or he's from the North. Hey, look at that, the cold winds going past them on the castle ramparts. That would feel super cool to be able to do. We've got this awesome environment here right now, which is sort of our catch-all for everybody because it's Dawngate-y.
Yes, that is true. All right, so guys, I'm going to go ahead and show you. So you can see, obviously, we have Petrus the Artificer here. We're not showing you like the actual character select because we're on the super secret build right now.
Right.
And we can't actually like show you that yet. But anyways, let me go ahead. I'm going to show you experimental Petrus.
It's true. And one thing that's sad here, we do not have the ability to like rotate and zoom in here, which is why we're going to be popping into the game. That's something also that we know that people would like. So if you're like, oh, move them around, can't do that yet.
Yep, that is something that's like absolutely is one of the first things I think that people were like, this would be good if we could do that, and it's just a matter of time and time.
Right. Time. All right. So you click over to experimental Petrus. There he is with this monstrous arm.
These flasks.
He's got flasks.
Those are so cool.
Yep, they bob, and he's got some scissors in there, some little it's like a giant syringe.
Oh my gosh.
He's got things to do. So all you got to do is click this little Waypoints button down here. Pop, click.
Yep. Unlocked.
And there you go.
Bob's your uncle. Oh, look at that.
And that little 2D animation's been replaced with this little pedestal glow, which is cool.
Nice. I like that. That's very nice. Gosh, I can't get over the detail on it.
Oh,
what? He's doing a little idle.
Yeah.
He's like, look, I can move my hand finally.
So let's jump into the game, and then we can like show them from all different angles.
I'll tell you what we're gonna do actually. Then I'm gonna go ahead and switch cameras really quickly
to the big cam.
To the big cam,
lest the players see the secrets.
That is super exciting. I mean, all I can say is that those idle animations. I really like the 3D that 3D loadout. I think
it's great.
Really good stuff, and I don't really care about the loadout. All right.
You want to pop back over now?
Oh, I do.
Actually?
I do actually. You're right. So
check this. Better choose your skin. Choose that. Quick.
Oh,
go.
Oh,
too slow.
Oh, no, I got the lantern. No. I did choose it too slow. Okay, I'm sorry guys. I wanted to show you guys the ward skin.
We'll do it in a minute.
Anyways, all right. I'll tell you what. You know what? I'm actually going to switch over and let you drive here.
Okay.
And then let me just swing this over your head real quick.
Ooh, exciting.
There we go. And we shall dance. Excellent. All right, so we are first going to give you a nice, good close-up view of experimental Petrus.
Let's check out this guy. This badass. All right, there we are in here. There we go. Look at that arm.
Such a lovely shade of green.
He's got that ponytail too. It's pretty boss.
Oh, he does. Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
I'm like starting to notice all these different levels of these little details that I didn't notice before. But you're right, absolutely. It's like that leather bound.
These poof arms. These are pretty nice, and they I think Anzarani Varian has those too.
Very. Oh, the poof arms. Is that kind of like a wardrobe characteristic?
It's a flavor of the West.
Of the West. Okay. Excellent.
Naturally.
Excellent. And we do have, we are going to be actually showing some other skins today, too. We have friends. We have friends waiting for us over in the Parasite Pit, actually.
To the Parasite Pit.
Alrighty. And so, basically, we're going to have guys just kind of starting off camera, and they're going to walk in, and they're going to show you the new skins. So we got to stand over there and wait, though, unfortunately. Alright, so first up is going to be Pluto on Forest Dream Dibs.
Forest Dream Dibs, here he comes.
Here he comes.
There he is. Look at that little guy.
So remember, as Miss Laura Mae Brown said, Forest Dream Dibs is partly inspired by a red panda. Oh,
it's
wow.
True.
I just love how his head just like bobs and weaves there.
Look at that incredible gold zips.
It is a nice gold zips there. I like that.
It's true.
Excellent. And there he goes, ulting around.
Very nice.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you for stopping by for Stream Dibs. I like this. This is so weird.
It is. It's kind of like I do feel like we're doing a runway show right now.
All right. Before these ones come out, actually, these are ones that we did not really preview for you previously.
Yes.
These are this is a couple, a sort of a pairing skin. And there's something a little bit different about them, which I'll go into. So bring them out.
So what? The next two? No. Well, this next one is actually Final Dispatch Freya.
Oh, damn. I was wrong.
Yep.
Sorry.
Final Dispatch Freya is up next. So
bring her out.
Go ahead and bring out Miss Freya. That's okay. Yep. There you go.
There she is. Stay still so I can show off that undercut. There it is.
Got that haircut going.
Yeah, it looks sweet.
I really like it. I mean, it doesn't lose anything that is Freya, and it's still it's telling that story. It's Freya when she was younger and not quite as angry.
Not quite as angry, but she's pretty angry still. This is like I just rolled in and saw everybody getting murdered, as opposed to, you know, a few months ago everybody got murdered. It's a different mental state. Oh God, I'm so scared.
All right, so now next is the one that's kind of a pair. So we'll show these two together then.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Excellent.
So we've got Moonrise Amaranth and Sunset Cerulean, and this is sort of a little bit of a different take here. These are going to be priced a bit lower than some of the other skins, and this sort of show us if you like these.
Yep. And keep in mind, guys, the prices will vary for some of the skins, and a lot of things that go into consideration is how much time did we spend developing them.
Yeah, did we concept and do new models, or is this something that didn't take us quite as long?
Go ahead.
So bring them out. Bring them out.
Bring them out.
There they are.
What a surprise, Pluto on Amaranth.
There they are.
All right. I actually really do like that red gold combination. Those are, being a 49ers fan, that's a favorite combo of mine.
Absolutely. Oh, she's dancing. She's dancing.
It's a black and white combination. There we go.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Excellent. All right, now this next one that we're going to show you guys, if we can get go and get Pluto to switch over to the next one here. This is going to be, I'm predicting this is going to be a favorite of the communities. I think this is a really awesome skin.
This is a good one.
I think that this one's going to be a favorite of the community. If we can go ahead and get Pluto to walk in with it.
Oh, let me tell you.
Wait,
oh, here he is.
Oh,
no,
sorry.
come on.
Okay.
Oh, come on in. Come on in. There he is. Look at that guy.
Wow.
So this is Sentinel Volek. Sentinel Volek is in his armor that he had as sort of leader of the Sentinels, the protectors of the Holy Woods. And that's some pretty sweet armor, if you ask me.
I love it. I actually really like the color combination, and there we go. Yep. I love the color shift in that. The helmet is actually really cool looking. It's very distinct and very different from the Volek kind of base skin there.
Yeah, I mean, the story of Volek was that he was this like sacred protector of the heart of the world. So it makes sense that he's got this normal dark appearance as the devourer, after he's dead and after he's consuming everything around him. But this is his armor from better days.
Right. So, and this is just another example of us, continuing to tell a story with these bits of customization.
Those lore skins.
Exactly. So we spoke earlier about House Anzarani Varian.
Yes.
Or as the chat was calling him, Swag Varian.
Swag Varian,
Swag
Fancy Varian, Disney Prince Varian. The names go on and on.
They do go on and on.
Oh God, he's coming at me.
Ah, he just appeared from nowhere. There's that golden gun. Look at that.
Maybe Michaela likes me more.
Very fancy.
Nice.
I love the greaves. Some very fancy greaves.
Again, they got that poofy shoulder that we were talking about. That's kind of distinctive of the West. Is that? Oh, so the coloration around the gun actually is different too, right? Of the effect after he does a celerity shell.
I don't think that's true.
Is it gold on the base? Oh, so it just matches. Okay, never mind.
Yep.
It never stood out to me that much, so I mean, I guess that's why. Very nice.
Very nice, Varian.
Excellent.
All right, and
so,
this was our second and last skin, and we've already seen Experimental Petrus. So.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, we did see Experimental Petrus, so we have one more skin to show you guys, and then we can actually show you guys some ward skins too, which is also very exciting. So this last one is our favorite Spiky Doge. More of a Blady Doge now.
Weaponized Vex. Bring him in.
Vex.
There he is.
Oh, look at him.
Good doggy.
Good dog. Wow. Man, actually, so this is the first time I've seen him in game. Look at those effects.
They're the blades.
They're the blades, all right. That's just sexy. Is that his ult or W?
That's his. Well, he's got all sorts of things on. I think he did W and Alt and Exceed all at once.
Okay.
Yeah, there's his W. Boom. Boom.
It's so nice.
Oh no, poor level 1 Petrus. He
Poor
doesn't
level
stand
one.
a chance.
He doesn't. No.
Bad dog.
I think that I think Vex might actually be getting some vengeance on his former master there.
That's true. Absolutely. So there you go. That's the first batch, and we'll be releasing many more soon.
It's exciting. It's really exciting. I'm really happy to see this first wave. Now we were mentioning we do have one more bit of customization we're going to be introducing.
Absolutely.
We're going to be introducing 2 ward skins with this patch. So Brad, are you able to switch teams and show us the ward skins?
We can just exit and come back in. You can't cheat it. Uncheatable.
Oh, you can't. It's uncheatable. Okay, so we will exit and come back in. Go ahead, and if you could hit F3, I believe.
Does that crash the game?
Oh, F3 will crash the game. Yeah. So you actually just go ahead and
crash the
go
game
over
button.
here.
Don't press it.
And press main cam.
Main cam.
Huh?
All
Okay,
right.
that's cool. Yeah. All right, so we'll get another game going here, and we're going to show you guys some ward skins really quickly. We got 2 of them to show off that are going to be introducing. Let's see here. When do we get Salt Mine Moya?
Oh, I love it.
Oh, the Moya skin, man.
That's a good skin.
The Moya skin's a really good skin. I feel like such a tease talking like this about all these skins, but I'm so excited for you
love
guys
it,
to see
Andy.
them.
You love it, and I know it.
I love the fact that we get to show new content to the players. This is always just so fun to do this. And so we're gonna get here. You heard it here. F3 crashes the game. No Incredible Evil only on a dev build. Only on a dev build. All right, game is up. So we need to be on the same team as Pluto. There we go. Oh,
Oop.
there we go.
There we go. Let's do it.
All right, he's starting her up.
Alrighty. Who am I gonna be? I know who I'm gonna
To
be.
the sky. What? Okay.
Unowned.
When do you get Naruto Fair? What? Can't buy skins from Brazil. De Perita. I don't know. As we go into the different regions, obviously we'll be looking at what our what our payment options and stuff like that will end up being. But
I forgot to choose the skin. What a noob.
But you got the word skin though.
That's true. I got it. I guess we're going to the parapet.
Alrighty.
All right. Puda, you wanna drop that Spirit of the Heart? There it is. A delightful little ward.
It's nice. It's got a little animation to it. Does this particular word have any sort of story significance?
Well, our first sort of concepting approach to our word skins is that we are going to be going around the world of Dawngate and getting cultural ward skins for the different regions in the game. So this is one that sort of represents that modest, humble sort of spirit of the people who live in the heart of the world in the Holy Woods. So people like Kel, people maybe like somebody else that they'll be meeting soon.
30 seconds
and that's what this
until
represents.
minions
So it's called
spawn.
Spirit of the Heart. But other regions in Dawngate will be getting new ones soon.
Okay, very, very cool.
So I'm gonna drop mine, and that is
The Waystone.
the Waystone. There it is. So yeah, we thought, hey, the concept of a Waystone is a stone that lights a path for people.
Right.
It's a really cool stone, so it makes a really nice word skin.
I really like that one.
I use it all the
That's
time.
fun.
I wish it was dev only, but I guess we give it to the community.
I'm actually really glad to see this. It's for me at least, and I'm sure for all of us on the team, this particular one is very special. It represents a lot of pride that we all have in what we do and in our studio. So
Absolutely, it looks super cool,
it does indeed.
and it wobbles. Look at it wobble.
Oh, it
there.
does. Look at that.
See, and it does a little bounce there when these come in.
Oh my gosh, the antler sway on that one.
Yeah, they got a little antler wiggle.
That is awesome. Well, Hunter, this has been really fun.
Super
I really
fun.
appreciate
Oh
you
my God, wards everywhere.
Whoa, they're everywhere. All right. So, guys, we got a little bit of time for some questions, and then we're going to take another break, and we're going to be coming back with Scott Town for one last little bit. But so, if you'd like to ask a question, Q with the colon mark in front of it, and we will ask the question here on the stream.
On the Supertron.
I'm sorry, Mianhe just distracted me. Salt Shaker Ward Skin.
Oh, sounds good.
Sounds salty.
I like it. You can run with it in every game, Yanhei.
Cartooner123, will you make the Waystone Ward a beta-only ward? Please do. Who knows? Who knows? It's not a bad idea.
Maybe we'll make it cost.
Mighty Morat, will you be able to use knowledge of which ward skins enemy players own to work out who dropped a ward if that shaper isn't in vision?
If the enemy shaper isn't in vision, yes. Right now, you can see the ward skin placed by an enemy if you do happen to see it in that amount of time. I think we are not certain if that's the final implementation or not.
Yeah. Is the scale of Waystone ward skin disruptive to play? It's as big as the shaper.
It's as big as the shaper. The Waystone ward is pretty big. Yeah, we can scale it down if you guys give us that feedback for sure.
Yeah, give us the feedback.
We haven't had a problem with it in our internal testing, but
yeah,
we honestly haven't been internal testing that particular skin for very long, so that's totally possible.
When are these skins added to the game, K-pop Orc? They're added with the next patch.
Next content patch.
With the next content patch. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. So DJ Cultus is asking a specific question, but I mean, I think this is pretty much, we can answer this generally. Will King of Masks get a skin? And basically this is the same answer to, will X Shaper get a skin? And the answer to that is...
Sure, absolutely. We want to sort of go around the world, with skins and hopefully get at least a skin or two for everybody. Sort of like the foundational set, and then we'll just be adding on to them as we go. That's a lot of content to make. We're a relatively small team, so we're doing the best we can to get that out for you guys as soon as possible. We know that your favorite character having a skin is a really big deal. So,
yep. It is a very big deal. Let's see here. When is the next content patch? When it's ready.
When it's been thoroughly QA'd to ensure a delightfully savory gameplay experience.
Sculptor of Flesh, will skins be in loot rolls?
Our goal is yes. In divine blessings, you will have the possibility, albeit low possibility, of getting a skin for free. Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
That is our goal right now, at least. That's TBD. If they'll be going in the next patch.
Okay. Awesome, fun stuff. All right, Hunter. Well, I just looked at the time and I realized the time
way over
is flying. Time is actually flying. Yeah. So thank you so much for swinging by.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
All of this stuff to the community. I'm sure they enjoyed it a lot. And we'll be back in just a few moments. Do you have anything else you wanted to say? Actually, in closing there.
I did want to let the community know that Gasty and I will be giving an update on the next map and Item Palooza very soon. We are playtesting some great stuff internally. We would love to give you guys insight into a playtest there potentially, and also let you know how that stuff's going, because it's on the horizon.
Yeah. And speaking of Item Palooza, actually, you should check out our Facebook page if you haven't already. If you haven't yet, you should like our Facebook page, because we're going to be doing a nice little feature to help
a featurette,
if you would. to help introduce Item Palooza and some of the new items that are going to be rolling out with it. And I believe we're starting that today.
Today?
Yes, it is today.
Are you going to say what it is? You're going to say what the plan is?
What the plan is? Well, we're going to be introducing a new item every single day.
An item a day.
An item a day. That's right. So an item a day for the month of February. It's going to be #ItemPalooza February. So.
That's true. We did not have the time to get a advent calendar built into our website that you could click and it would open up and then candy would come out of your computer, but we wanted to.
Next time. All
Take
right,
it easy, guys.
So we will take a quick break, and then we'll be back with Scott Town to talk about some more exciting stuff. So yeah, see you in a minute, guys.
Bye, guys.
And welcome back, everybody. We're wrapping up our community catch up with. Sorry, I had to get that up there. I don't know if anybody can hear it. Are you unmuted? You're not muted. Hold on. You're. Now you're.
Oh, right. Orange muted. Right.
Orange muted.
Mute on.
There we go.
On. Right.
Yay!
Okay.
Could you do me a favor and hand me my notes that are sitting right next to you really quickly here?
Oh, sure.
As we're going to have this conversation. All right, guys. So Scott Town is here. And for those of you who don't know Scott, Scott is one of our shaper designers. Well, you're a content designer, right?
Right.
You do a little bit of everything, but shapers are something you do.
Yep, I did Vex, but I've also done the Stones and Sparks. I was on the actual design for those.
Okay.
I've designed the spells, and then usually when I'm telling people in game about what I've worked on, I usually say, and then I also worked on Redacted. Well, hopefully about to explore a little bit of Redacted here.
A little bit of Redacted. This is actually very exciting because we are here to talk about, in addition to everything we've already talked about, a brand new shaper. So let's take a little bit of a trip in the Wayback Machine to right after we introduced the last of the original 21, or not right after, but after we basically finished internally working on the last of the first 21 shapers. And so the last of the first 21 was King of Masks, right? Mm. That was the original. What's that?
Sorry, I thought you were talking about.
Well, we will carry on now, Scott Moore. Okay, so we're talking about the last of the first 21 shapers was King of Masks, right?
Right.
And you guys, the designers, all locked themselves in a room, and somebody was standing outside with a baseball bat and said, "No, I'm just kidding."
Not quite how I remember it, but sure, it's useful abstractions.
I'm just trying to give a vision to the community. So let's talk a little bit about what was your guys' process after that? You're kind of like, okay, we got these guys done. Now we have to go plan for the future.
Right. Well, so the process was it kind of came in a bunch of different pieces. One part of it was we knew we wanted to plan about 5 more characters in advance. And we also knew we had some themes that we wanted to explore, some general kind of visual and aesthetics themes for the characters.
Okay.
But we also knew one of the big ones we wanted to hit was we wanted to explore some characters that were distinctly not human. They would still be, humanoid for the most part, human-shaped, but something that is more than just, a person who is particularly special or whatever else, something that's a little bit more. And so far we've done Ferris and Viana are 2 of the big ones that we've seen that are exploration of that. Mm-hmm. And then the character we're talking about today is another exploration of that.
Okay, so the non-human,
mm-hmm.
Something to mix it up a little bit. And, obviously, I think Ferris and Viana have both gone over very well with the community. The designs have all been very creative, so as we're exploring a new non-human shaper, we also needed to start, bolstering. So we're going to add some more, archetypes basically at this
mm-hmm.
point too. So, or not new archetypes, I should say. We're going to start bolstering some archetypes, I should say. Mm. So this new shaper is.
This new shaper is a bruiser.
Okay.
And we wanted to get a new bruiser, and we wanted it to stand out a little bit from the existing bruisers we have. I mean, one of the most obvious ways to do that was having it be a woman. I mean, if you look, our bruiser lineup right now is a bunch of burly dudes and an otter. And so having
who is a woman,
to be fair,
it's a lady otter.
It's true, but
she's a lady otter,
but she is in the minority.
Right.
And so, but then, as a distinction even from Moya, having one that visually was like physically on par with these other, quite muscular characters. Someone who looks like that, she could like arm wrestle Cerulean and stand her ground.
Right.
So, so having someone that had emphasis on that level of physical strength and prowess and so on and so forth was another big part of that.
Okay. And you had mentioned something about wanting to explore non-human shapers. I mean, another kind of requirement or another idea for this was that you wanted the shaper to have a striking, like a silhouette that just stood out, like you saw it and it was distinctive, and it really kind of made you go, wait, huh?
Right, and I think this character is an excellent success in that point. This was one that Art really had some fun experimenting with. This is one of the ones where we had an idea of a theme. We wanted to explore something that is like almost like druidic, a very obvious connection to nature.
Yep.
And given them that, it's like we want a bruiser, a woman, looks strong, druidic, and they went nuts with it, and it came back incredible.
Right. So we did also, there's the artistic and the visual exploration, but from a design standpoint, there was also another aspect that we wanted to explore with that, and that was a different type of bruiser.
Right. That was something I wanted to explore. The idea is a lot of our bruisers, obviously, they're very good in fights. I mean, it's kind of their whole job is to just run into fights and just create chaos. And they typically also, from a gameplay perspective, typically are good junglers. I mean, the things that make them successful as bruisers typically means that they're successful in the jungle as well. But I want to explore one that could also be effective in a lane standpoint. Someone that could be this basically a movable force in the lane that had a very dominant presence. That would give them this interesting difference in play between how they're done in the jungle and how they're done in the lane.
Okay, interesting. So when you say something like area control, like what does that mean to you, and what should the players expect from that?
Area control, especially for this character, mean they are able to just establish these areas in which they have such a large advantage that it would be very risky to fight them in that territory. And so they kind of put you in this high pressure situation where it's like, well, I don't really want to fight them, in this area of influence that they have. Because they have a big advantage, but the longer I don't fight them, the more control they gain, and they can just slowly apply more and more pressure as their area control expands.
Okay, all right. And by the way, I saw that. Hold on, where is it? Where is just what we need? A Druish princess. That's right. I saw the Mel. That was good. Gave me a little laugh there. That's nice. All right, so. You gave all these requirements to the concept team, and I believe that it was Kendra, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yes, Kendra was the concept artist of record on this particular one. And I need to actually switch over. Yep, we just need the screen region is what we need right there. There we go. All right, so we handed this concept over to Kendra, our amazing concept artist, and this was what she first came back with. So what we were talking about earlier. With that striking silhouette and nature and the kind of the druidic appearance to it.
Right.
What can you say about this?
I think one of the details I think is really easy to overlook this thing is that she has 4 arms. She has this the obvious thing is that she has this mantle that is just like obviously just living wood, living plant mass that has grown over her that gives her these extra arms. On top of her already imposing silhouette. She's obviously very strong. I mean, she is actually as tall as even Kel, is one of the largest characters we have in the game. But this gives her. I don't know what else to say about it.
Well, she is it's a strong female character, and actually, it's funny you mentioned Kel. It's actually good that you mentioned Kel because she's actually from the
heart of the world.
The heart of the world. Yeah. If
right.
you look at this isn't a lore spoiler. This is was in part 1 of the lore that we published on Friday of last week, and we will have part 2 up. I think later today. Pluto, we're gonna have part 2 up later today for the lore. Okay, cool. So we'll have part 2 up later today. So, anyways, but this is she's of those people, right? So it's that close tied in nature, but yes, very strong. Like very, very strong,
right.
I would say. And then if we move a step further, actually, into the final concept here.
Right.
There we go.
I think that it is a testament to how cool the design is in that this is one that I don't even think had that much that many steps of iteration. It was basically the first concept and was just like, yes, just that. That's just amazing. So we just rolled with it.
Yeah, and that just definitely speaks to like the talent of our concept artist.
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Kendra did an amazing job, and I just love this little cute owl.
The owl. I love the owl detail.
The owl is amazing. So, no, this is not Kel's Bride, guys. Read the story. Read the story. When Pluto gets back here, I'm sure that he can actually link to it in chat. So, link to the story in chat. So,
right.
But read the story. You should definitely learn about this shaper and her story. So, all right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead. This is our concept art. Thank you very much to Kendra for providing this wonderful concept art. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump over here really quickly, and we're actually going to jump into the game cam, and you can actually see our new shaper.
Yep.
Marah, the Awakened, and this is her 3D, and we're going to jump into game in just a little bit and show off her abilities and stuff. So let's talk a little bit about she is a melee bruiser. She is physical. Again, we're going for that that kind of that area control
Right.
laser. So this is what she looks like in game right now, guys. And then give us just a second here. We're gonna jump over to this main cam real quick, and then we're gonna jump into a game with Pluto. And show off her abilities, and you can learn about her abilities as we get going here. So
Yep.
and I'm gonna
Walk through all of them, and of course walk through emotes and whatnot, which because that's kind of tradition at this point,
I
right?
can't explain
Yeah, I
what's
think so.
happened,
Yeah.
but you can
all
trust
right.
me.
So I'm gonna switch over to here. Why not Waystone?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. Spirit of the Heart,
Of course.
because it's Marah.
Right,
Makes
right.
sense, right? All right, and I think that should be good. There we go. All right, guys. So I'm gonna swap over here to the other side and
Let me drive.
let you drive it.
Ah! What did you do?
Ah!
What did you do?
It's so tangly. It's
Okay.
We got it. All right, guys. So
Oops. Oh, that's the wrong button.
yeah, don't press.
Here we. Yeah. All right. Now we got it.
So if you could do me a favor and did you somehow?
No, I just opened I opened this little folder.
Okay. Yeah, close that for me.
Okay.
And then go down to. Okay, somehow you lost the chat. It's okay. I've
Whoop.
got the chat right here.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Alrighty. So Pluto is going to be waiting for you in the middle of the map, and you can level up and do all your cheat stuff if you need to as well.
You're not afraid of a strong woman, are you? I know what bears do in the woods, and what you did, but I don't judge.
Okay. So
See,
let's go ahead and cheat up a little bit. Max out. Max out. All right. So Pluto waiting here.
Spawn.
I never expected.
Oh yeah, don't show spells.
Oh yeah, right.
Yep.
Can't give away too much.
Yep.
So all right. So this is Marah. And quick walkthrough abilities. I think one of the first ones to demo, I think I already saw some people mentioning it in chat, is her passive. Her passive is one of the biggest things that helps her maintain this pressure while also giving her a ever-growing level of durability. It's called Circle of Life. And the way it works is that anytime an enemy
Minions
dies
have
in a
spawned.
fairly large radius around her, they actually drop a little Seed of Life. She can pick up the Seed of Life to gain a permanent bonus to her maximum health.
Okay.
The maximum health starts at about 3 per stack, and it gradually degrades the more of them you pick up. So it kind of tapers off a little bit, but it is a pretty substantial amount of health by the end of the game. And that, especially in the... Oh, yeah, I might as well kill. Oh,
There we go.
right there.
Pluto just killed himself.
The enemy team has
There you go.
been
Yep.
annihilated.
So I got a little bit of health here, and it's a useful tool. Obviously, in the jungle, you have access to easily pick up lots of safe seeds. In the lane, it also makes it to where you are getting very strong, but it also make it to where the enemy has got some the pressure on them, like they want to kind of try and stop you from picking up the seeds. They don't last forever. If you can force Marah away from it long enough, they die. But it makes it to where you're kind of encouraged to try and enter her dangerous zone. To fight her. So let's talk about some of the dangerous zone. I think I'm going to skip the Q for now and come back to it because it's better if you understand how the W works.
Okay.
W is probably her most unique ability. It's called Tree of Life. The way it works is that she summons a tree at a nearby location and it creates an aura of overgrowth around it. As long as she's in the aura, she has increased life drain and attack speed. And that bonus lasts for a few seconds after she leaves the aura. The trees last a very long time. But you can't have more than a certain number of active of them, based on the rank of W. At first rank, it only has a maximum of 2, and at higher ranks, it has a maximum of 6.
No, Chris, I will not start singing Circle of Life every time I play Marah.
I might, but no. So you can see this is the array you can place it in. You place the little tree here, and there you go. And you see when she steps into it, she blooms out and gets flowers and everything else all over her and starts attacking really fast. So it's pretty great. And this right here actually was also something I failed to mention when we were in the initial discussion. One of the visual things that we wanted to explore with the character is having this idea of a bloomed and unbloomed state. Since we're already going with a connection to nature, having her have this like very obvious visible transformation when through whatever means was something we wanted to explore. And so I decided to explore that with these trees and the auras, so you could get this really neat transformation steps into it. And you can see it lasts for a few seconds after I leave, and as it ticks down, it hits 0, poof, falls off. So now that you see how the trees work, it'd be good to explain how the Q works. Q is called Snapdragon, and she throws out a vine, like so. I'll go ahead and turn off cooldowns. If the vine hits an enemy player, it will root them until she arrives, because she pulls herself to the target.
Expected.
And then hits them when she arrives there. Actually, I should probably turn off cooldowns to show it has a moderate cooldown when you're on the way in. But its other cool trick is if you grab a tree with the vine, pull yourself to it and the cooldown resets.
Okay.
And so you can do tricks like the double hook. And that makes it to where she is actually, despite not being terribly fast herself, she is very maneuverable inside the range of her trees. If there are enemies nearby, she can be on you in the blink of an eye. And so you really don't want to screw around too much inside of her tree areas.
I mean, this just seems like this is really good mobility, I would say, if you plan correctly.
Right. Well, it is, and it's absolutely true. The catch is that it is very good mobility until you engage. Once she actually goes in, if she's not being careful to keep a tree nearby at all times, she actually has a difficult time getting back out. And so it makes it to where you can jump on someone at a moment's notice, but you need to think carefully about exactly when you're going to do that, because you could easily jump in, and then the fight goes against you, and you don't have a good way to get back out because you didn't keep a tree behind you, etc., etc. She is very good at chasing a single target for a long time.
Right.
And so she is difficult to escape, but she herself has a hard time actually getting away because the tree, as we're mentioning, has a very long cooldown. It's about 20 seconds at all ranks.
Right.
So you need to think carefully about when you're actually going to go in, but making sure to set up plenty of trees in advance so you have lots of options is going to be one of the defining parts of playing her in the mid to late games.
Okay. All right. Excellent.
So beyond that, her third ability is called Bramble Crush, and this one is generally, I feel like, one of the most useful abilities in the game, but I'm maybe a little biased. Bramble Crush is, she throws out this knot of brambles that reaches a target location and then grows outward into a wall of brambles. Anything that the vines grow over take damage, and it slows. If you get hit with a projectile, it slows you for about a second as the projectile passes. If you're inside the brambles, you're slowed until you actually make it out, and it's a pretty substantial slow. So this is obviously incredible for, in the early game, you can use it to just kind of keep people out of your zone that you don't want to be, in interfering with you farming, interfering with you collecting seeds, or just pushing people back in general, because it hits a huge area and has really long range. But it's also useful for, you let someone linger a little bit, or stray a little bit too close to your trees, whatever else, and then you hook to them and then throw the brambles to block their escape. And now they're trapped inside this area where you're fighting with a huge advantage.
Okay. By the way, guys, we do see your questions right now. Rest assured, we will ask. There will be some Q&A time after Scott gets a chance to go through all the different abilities and everything.
So, so that's a good one of her basic abilities. So she has a lot of control with that. But now let's talk about her ultimate. Her ultimate's called Force of Nature. When you activate it, she gains substantially increased maximum health for an extended period, as well as increased attack range. And all of her basic attacks against Shapers will bash the target, doing bonus damage based on max health, healing her for a portion of that damage, and then briefly stunning the target.
Okay.
That has a cooldown per target, so you can't just repeatedly bash the same guy over and over and over again forever. But if you're surrounded by multiple enemies, you can just crush, and just generally lock them all down for a pretty decent amount of time, while also making yourself very difficult to kill. And so it makes it to where she's already a very imposing character who's a very threatening presence. But with that ultimate, it makes it to where you just really cannot afford to just gang up on her. You pretty much have to scatter as best you can when she comes in, or try and find someone who can stand up to her for long enough that you can have everybody else, try and bring her down from range. So let's go ahead and get that one a shot.
I belong.
Ooh, the green glow.
Now, it lasts a pretty long while, but the bash itself, you can see, is on about a 4-second cooldown. You can get off, I think, about 4 bashes on the same target.
You'll never understand.
Before the end of the ultimate, and so having a little more attack speed helps you make sure you get it in on cooldown.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the idea. You have just a huge amount of pressure.
Hulk confirmed. Nice. So let's talk a little bit about itemization. I just checked the item shop is safe for us to show on this.
Oh, okay, cool.
Build. So one thing to keep in mind with with Marah and well, I would say with Shapers moving forward is that the majority of their balancing is done around the upcoming Itempalooza stuff.
That's
correct?
true.
That is true. So, but she should still play just fine with the current.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, let's talk a little bit about items that you would actually build on her. Build on Marah.
Well, I think that most people who are familiar with her items already probably their immediate reaction when seeing how much interaction she has with her own health is like, rampancy, duh. And I generally like rampancy a lot, being that she has the ability to gain a very large amount of extra max health both through her passive and through her ultimate. Makes rampancy kind of a no-brainer for giving a good mix of offense and defense.
Oh, that's true. Like if you have rampancy when she ults, you get that bonus power from that.
Yes.
Oh wow.
And it's like
okay.
it is not it's a pretty substantial amount. It's not like completely crazy, but it's it's a lot, and for her it's actually quite efficient. If you're really greedy, and especially if you're in a situation where you're in the lane and you're farming like crazy, Strife might also be a good choice because then you're kind of getting you're double dipping in the whole farming for crazy stat bonuses because then you both get a seed every time you kill an enemy and you get a Strife stack every time you kill an enemy.
Okay.
And so you can stack that up to just crazy levels. Being that she scales very well with attack speed, she's considered a carry bruiser. Something like Ruin could also be a really good choice. Being it's just a really nice all-rounder item. It's pretty effective against nearly every target, and it obviously has a good on-hit effect. And so taking advantage of the pretty substantial prolonged attack speed bonus that her trees give her makes this a pretty good choice.
And just more haste is she scales well with stats in general.
Right. Yeah, most stats are going to be pretty effective on her. She does not, being a bruiser, or attack speed bruiser, she doesn't have good cooldown reduction from haste, and so her abilities are all going to stay about the same cooldown, even with a very large amount of haste.
Okay.
But she'll get good attack speed from haste. She'll get good, attack damage from power. Her ability power ratios are so-so. And so now I talk about these offensive items, but at the same time, it is important to strike a balance between offense and defense. Again, she doesn't have a really good way of getting back out of fights, and so making sure that you are as durable as possible while in the fight, while also making sure you're actually doing enough damage is critical.
Yep.
And so getting some good defense items, I think that Glory, obviously also a really good choice. Being a good mix of offense and defense, the health, the damage over time, or it provides scales with your health, and so grabbing that can be a really solid choice. I like also going into something like Adamance, being that she is prone to being a focus fire target, being this, oh god, someone please kill the Juggernaut that is destroying us all.
The big green tree tree monster tree lady that's in the middle of
the not so jolly green giant.
Yes.
Adamance is a really good choice for helping keep things in range of you, keep things from hurting you as bad, because its repeated bursts of attack speed slow, movement slow will really help keep you safe.
Okay.
As people I see pointing out in the chat, she is going to have some difficulty against characters who do health-based damage. Vex, Petrus, and Ferris are all characters that can do pretty substantial damage.
Yes.
In which case, against those characters, it might be a better idea to not itemize health quite as strongly, simply because they are already very effective against specifically health, and so focus more on the mitigation side.
Focus more on the magic resist and the
exactly.
Armor,
beyond that, I actually like that she has a pretty good amount of flexibility in the build. You can actually go like very strong. A lot of time in games I go very strongly tank, and it's like I'm not as big a threat when I go in, but I'm just like nearly unkillable. She will not do a crazy amount of damage to go full tank, but it's it's okay that you can just pressure some people, but you are just unstoppable. And likewise, you can potentially go the other way, and it is she can do potentially crazy amount of damage, but it's a lot riskier because even her pretty substantial health bar won't last very long if you don't have any mitigation at all.
Okay.
So
hold on just a second. Okay, so really quickly, let's talk a little bit about perks and loadouts with her.
Yes.
I know that when I've been playing her on in our internal playtest, I've been building with a hoplite % armor build. Which works out really well for me. Like, what are some of your ideas as far as some of the major spirit stones and some directions you can try and weave into your perk loadout?
Well, I think one of my favorite ones to take on her, especially if I'm going to be in the lane, is Warden. It just has a natural synergy with her. Warden being the one that gives you a shield based on your maximum health that regenerates after you go long without taking damage. Obviously, it being based on max health means that your shield's going to be pretty large compared to a lot of other characters.
Right.
Excuse me. But it also does a lot of work for mitigating harassment, which is something she's always going to have to be wary of in the lane. She does have a lot of tools to sustain very well, to heal herself. The life drain from her trees will help keep her health topped off, and the Bramble Crush does a really good job of just keeping people out of your face. But having just one more tool that will really help mitigate that is really valuable. It also scales fairly well in the late game, because it means that late game, when you have a bazillion hit points, Warden is going to take a pretty good chunk out of whatever the first thing that hits you in the fight is.
Right.
And that will make it to where they'll help the whole Juggernaut thing of they blast you with their first nuke, and it doesn't even do that much damage because Warden ate most of it, and then they're like, oh crap. And then yeah, Marah mad, Marah smash. I'm not gonna lie, there was a point I was going through and finishing off the localization names for all of her the buffs and debuffs and abilities and whatever else. And there's a brief window I was considering having the brief stun that she has, which you really aren't going to see that often on your buff bar since it goes away so quickly. Having that be named Marah Mad, Marah Smash, but I decided against it in the sake of good taste. But
I think the Dandelion might actually walk over and hit you for that. But he's not a violent man, so
yeah,
you never know. He would glower at you. He would glower. All right, so spell selection wise, you actually can show the spells on this one. I just found out. So,
well, I think that one of the good ones to grab on, especially in the early game, is actually one of the new ones, and one of the ones that I also made, which is Drain. Drain is a very versatile spell that is very useful for both finishing fights and for turning the tide in very close fights.
Okay.
It offers relatively low utility compared to almost every other spell, providing basically just some damage and health swap. The actual effect of the ability is it applies a damage over time to a targeted enemy. It deals magic damage over several seconds, reduces the healing that target receives for several seconds, and also heals you for 90% of the damage that Drain inflicts. And so in a relatively even fight, this is going to turn the tide quickly because your opponent, can no longer life drain terribly effectively. They're taking substantial damage, and you're also healing up quite quickly in the face of it. And so basically forces the enemy, they pretty much have to retreat once this is on them, unless they think that they could just really, burst you down almost immediately. It's also very effective against enemies that are very prone to high sustain, like Viana or Fenmore might have a difficult time against this, or a carry with a large amount of life drain. In early game, this can help because one of the weaknesses she does have is, although she exerts a lot of pressure early game, bursting people down is never something that she's terribly good at. And so having something that lets you get a little bit of extra damage in a short time frame can help her secure kills that would normally be very difficult for her to get. And this is on top of the fact that sometimes I'm building really tanky, I like grabbing something like Creation that gives me increased healing.
Yeah.
That further increases the value of Drain for me. And so just give an example of pulling this out here.
Oh.
It's pretty good. And so the one of the tricks of Drain, however, is that it is magic damage, and the healing is based on the amount of magic damage you inflict. And so if your opponent... if the Drain is actually proving to be a problem for them, they can actually invest a little bit in magic resistance, which will substantially reduce the damage Drain does, and likewise reduce the amount of healing you receive from it.
So that would tell me that Drain's going to be probably less effective late game, more effective early game.
Right. Well, it's generally going to be fairly effective against squishier targets that are reliant on sustain to keep themselves alive, because typically those targets are not ones that can invest heavily in magic resistance to begin with. They're hoping to just not get hit by nukes in the first place. Against tankier targets, it's not going to help quite as much, especially if they're investing in some early magic resist. But either way, it's still fairly effective. But that's always going to be the trick there, is trying to decide if the swing that it provides is enough to compensate the fact that it does not have the amazing slow and attack speed slow and damage reduction that Wither has, that lets you just shut down the damage of a single target for a substantial amount of time. It doesn't have the crazy range and even more powerful slow that Stagger has, that should close in on a distant target. Which that's part of the reason why I like it on Marah, is that she already has little difficulty closing in on targets, and so I don't need something like Stagger or whatever else to close in. I can just use Drain for its power.
Alrighty.
So.
I see.
Okay, guys. So you have a little bit of time for some Q&A, and then we got to run to lunch.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys. So Q with a colon mark after it. If you have a question about Marah, go ahead and queue them up. See what I did there? Aw, poor Spiky Dog.
It's a little revenge for when the first time that I was on here demoing Vex. Do you remember I came on and it's like, now I'm going to show you how powerful a late game 6-item Vex is, and I was up against Pluto, and when I started attacking him, he had turned off his cooldowns, and so he just attacked me with really infinite speed and just instantly killed me. And
I remember that.
Did not feel so great.
Just like there. All right, guys. Oh, B-Flaw says we didn't show the dance. We need to show the dance.
Oh yeah. Well, I have to wait for the. I guess I can dance right now, but. Oh.
There we go.
What, who's?
Amazing.
Oops.
You touch the air and winds change course. Rain falls. It's wonderful.
Aww. It's the owl. It's so cute.
Yeah, it's adorable.
Okay. We're not doing any giveaways today, Code Mac. All right.
I belong.
So, do the skit. So here's a question from Omega Demon. Do the trees grant vision?
No, the trees do not grant vision. You can see where your own trees are through Fog of War. But
nothing around
them.
Right,
but you cannot see anything around them, so if it's sitting on a junk camp or whatever else, you will not be able to tell if like an enemy approaches it and you stand near it. You don't see anything about what's actually near the tree. You just know where they are, so you can do useful stuff like this. Pull yourself over. Haha. And then if you have enough time to set up, maybe you do this, a little bit of, oh, is anyone doing Parasite? Oh, I guess they are. Well, get it out of here. Oh, well, maybe I'll go back and get in the fight. And on, and on, and on. Whether that's actually useful is yet to be demonstrated, but it is a thing that she's technically able to do.
I think
given a long enough time for the cooldowns.
I'm predicting that we're gonna see some pretty amazing Marah plays. Like somebody is gonna take the time and set it up to do some pretty crazy stuff. Which actually brings rise to another question which we saw. How many trees can you have down at once? Like, how is that governed?
It depends on the rank of her W. At rank 1, you can only have 2 trees. If you try and place a new one, the oldest one will die. If you already have or if you already have 2, the maximum increases as you rank it. At max rank, it has a maximum of 6.
Okay.
Marah only can see a ring effect on her oldest tree that indicates this is the oldest one, and this is the one that will die when you place a new tree.
Okay.
So you can use that to keep track of it.
Okay. Somebody asked much earlier, it was asking, can you actually hook to enemy trees? And the answer to that is...
You cannot. No. But we went through surprising amount of effort to make sure that enemy trees look substantially different so you know which ones you can and cannot hook to.
Okay. Let's see here. Is she going to be able to be killed if in lane with a Viana? I'd say yes to both of those. She'll have sustain like crazy.
Right. It would be possible, but extremely difficult to kill her. The trade-off there is that lane has very low kill potential unless you have an extremely damaging jungler. Okay. Early game, it's like you wouldn't really be able to hurt them that bad, but neither of them are terribly threatening on their own. Like they could be enough to just harass a little bit, but they're not going to just jump on you and crush you to death. At level 6, they might be dangerous if you have like a Moya or a Freya, or like maybe a Petrus jungler who just does a crazy amount of damage, because then Viana can lock you up with the ultimate and she can start bashing and so on and so forth. But the 2 of them by themselves are not going to be that not big of a threat. You should be able to escape before they can actually kill anybody.
Okay. We've seen this question a lot. Do the tree passive stack?
No, they do not stack.
Okay. And then let's see here. How long does... Oh, go ahead.
I did see one question in there that I would actually like to answer. Drain can be dispelled. If you use Dispel, it will purge the debuff. You will stop taking damage. The caster will stop getting health from you. It stops it.
Yep.
And so...
Let's see here. There was a question about the seeds. How long do the seeds last?
The seeds last 10 seconds. And so you have 10 seconds to pick up the seed before it disappears.
All right, let's see here.
One other quirk I'd like to point out about the seeds that are actually very useful. You cannot see Marah's seeds if you cannot see Marah. And this is to help prevent something like Marah is walking into lane to gank from the jungle, and the enemy goes, why are there seeds spawning all of a sudden? Oh god, the tree woman comes, and they have to retreat.
Okay, all right. Ascalon, I saw like your million questions. If you could like break those into one, that would be great. Let's see here. Do do the tree be there all the? Well, so the Ahmad Arifin is asking if the tree's there all the time. No, they're not there all the time. They only have a 5-minute life.
5-minute life.
5-minute duration. Okay. Are the trees killable?
No, the trees are not killable.
Okay, guys. Let's see here.
It's actually one of the things that works out fairly interesting for her is that at 2 trees, it's enough that she can make a substantial zone where she can fight in during the lane, but it doesn't mean that they're absolutely everywhere. You can outmaneuver them at 2. But she has pretty strong rank up incentives, particularly on her E as well, and so she does have to make a choice between having the E like really ramp up in strength and slowing power versus getting more trees by ranking the W, as well as increasing the potency of the buff.
Okay. How does Fate work with Marah's ult? Does it spread the stun?
No, it does not.
Yeah.
That is primary target only. I mean, of course, being that she is, a carry bruiser, you'll probably do pretty good damage against clumped enemies with Fate, but it will not spread the stun.
I believe that was a balance change that we made to stun to Fate, I should say, a while back, where certain effects aren't carried through to the spreadable damage. So
right, that was just we figured there was a few things that proved to be problematic on.
Okay, all right. Well, hey, I tell you what. Thank you very much, Scott, for swinging by and sharing Marah with us. Remember, she will go out in the next patch, which is to be determined when that will be.
Right.
But just to let you guys know, we will have the VOD for this up later today, probably almost immediately. So you guys will be able to watch this and find out anything else that you may have missed out on. We got lots and lots of stuff that we covered today. One might even say a glut of content. So be sure to check out the VOD of this community catch-up. Lots of information. I believe that some of the fan sites should already have Marah's information up. We like to get those guys the information early so they can have that stuff for you guys to look at ahead of time. So they should have Marah's stuff up right now. At least MOBA Champion, I think, does already. So, yeah, that's about it. So be sure to tune in tomorrow, guys. We will be doing our normal developer playtest at 1:30 p.m. PST. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Anything else you want to say about Marah, Scott?
No, I guess that's pretty much it.
Cool.
Just looking forward to getting a chance to wreck face with her.
Okay, great. And if you have questions, guys, about Marah or anything that we revealed today, as far as like content or spells or anything like that, pop into the subreddit over at reddit.com/r/Dawngate. You can post your questions there. Our development team is over there quite frequently reading subreddit and answering questions. So it's a great place to get answers to your questions. And even if the developers don't, the community usually chips in and answers questions for people too. So, anyways, thank you very much, everybody. And I'm going to scooch over here. Oh, and push you out of the way. There we go. Thanks very much, guys. And we're going to close you out with a sizzle trailer really quickly here, if I can do this. Hold on. Bye.